Hey y'all, I had to come give my 2 cents on this situation with this lawsuit against Fonzworth and Diddy from this guy Randy. Ticket TV did a interview with this guy Randy last night, and I got a chance to hear his side of the story. I briefly read over the lawsuit, but it's a lot of things I have a problem with when it comes to his story. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that his story is not true. I actually believe the things that he's saying happened. I believe, for the most part, I believe that something happened, okay? My issue is because I see a lot of people that's talking about this story and they using words like, oh, he was coerced, or, he was young and impressionable because he was 22 years old at the time that he claimed these events happened, or this event happened, this incident. And for those of you who are not familiar with what his claims are, I'm going to briefly give you a rundown of what he's claiming. He's claiming when he was 22 years old, he was a talent scout, and he went to some event in Atlanta at the Lenox Mall, and that Diddy was there, I guess, promoting his Sean John collection, and it was something like that. It was some fashion event, and he was there looking for talent, and somehow he came into contact with Diddy and Fonzworth, and Fonzworth told him, hey, if you can get us some girls, you can come roll with us. You know what I'm saying? And so at some point, Fonzworth pointed out some girls who were minions, being 13 and 14. And he said, hey, that's what we want right there. Basically, I'm trying to work around without saying it too explicit because, yeah, y'all know. So he took the initiative to go tell them girls, hey, you want to come back to an after party with us? Or some type of thing he claimed. He did that because he was a talent scout. So I don't know if he went and promised them something or something like that. Basically, what's being said is that they ended up at a hotel, and those minions, along with himself, was SA'd by Fonzworth and Diddy. He said that Gene Deal was also in attendance and present during this situation, but was not in the room, and came in the room a couple times just to check in or get a drink or something like that. But he did not participate or nothing like that, and that he felt that Gene Deal was 100% aware of what was taking place in that room, okay? That's kind of rough to hear, because those of us who are fond of Gene, we don't want to look at him in that light, because he's always claimed that he never participated in those type of things, did not happen around him, and if they had happened around him, he would have did something about it. So everybody who is fond of him, we want to believe that, and we want to continue believing that. According to this guy, though, it makes things questionable a little bit, but not too much, because, well, it does, and I'm gonna keep going on some details. But I'm so sick of people with this, oh, he was young and impressionable, he was 22 years old. If it was your minion, say it was a whole totally different situation, it was your minion and he came just by himself, and you found out he had a relationship with your minion, would you say, oh, he was young and impressionable, I don't need to call the police, because he's not wrong? Would you say that? See, I think that a lot of adults are dense brain, and they give passes when they're not affected by situations, and that's why situations like this keep on happening. This guy is just as guilty, if not even more. And in my opinion, he belongs in jail. He's going around doing interviews on YouTube where as you guys can see his mugshot, he's been in jail, in federal jail, and they saying from fraud. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to do more digging, but I could not keep going digging without doing a video because I had to get this off my chest. This man is just as guilty as anybody else that did anything in that room because you brought them. What make you think you are innocent? And then you have the nerve to file a lawsuit when really you need handcuffs on yourself. Then he had the nerve to say that he hoped that one of those minions and eventually come forward because he don't know where they at. Of course, it's been years. And he hope they come forward, I guess, to corroborate his story and tell their side. But at the end of the day, you sat there and watched. He also talked about how substances was given to those minions in his face and even him, and he kind of felt intimidated to take it, and the minions did too, but you brought them there and you didn't do anything to stop anything. Not one time did you say stop. He used words to me in that interview that made it a really, see, that's why I wouldn't be able to interview nobody, because baby, the interview will be over with in 5 minutes because I'm gonna check you for playing in my face. Okay? And that's how I feel this guy is playing. And I've only heard just the interview he did with Tiki. I haven't watched the other one yet. Okay? But no, I don't agree with this guy. He was using things like, well, no one was in the room that didn't want to participate. Really? So what was your point of coming out? And so you basically saying that these millions could make the decision legally to do the things that was done. See, it's what he's saying, and I'm not sure why he's not questioning on the way and the things he's saying, because that lets you know what role he actually played in this. Okay? See, like I said the other day, a lot of people is getting passes from I was about to say from the public, but the public opinion really don't matter. The court is what's going to, what matter is who is going to deal with these people. Some of them, not all. But you're a co-conspirator, sir. You get no pass from me. No, I don't see it no other way. I don't care what the man say. Now, there is no way I would ever see it any other way. He's using things, said things, that's ridiculous. He said one of them, she didn't want to participate at all. She didn't have a choice, obviously. But he said the other one, she wanted. What? Do you know what you're talking about, sir? Do you know? How could you say something like that? And it go to show where like I said, his man is at. This man, look, I don't know what to make of this man. I can't wait to hear Gene's response to this, because it's people, honey, I'm seeing them in the comments going crazy. Like, Gene need to answer to this. He need to be locked up and this and that and the other. Look here. I don't know when it comes to that situation, and I'm going to let Gene answer to that. I'm hoping that he was unaware. I'm sure it's been plenty of times that Gene have seen Diddy go in a room and, or whatever. But I would hope that he didn't see minions and turn the other cheek. I would hope that. Okay? I don't know when it comes to that situation. So I'm going to kind of let it ride until he speak on it, because I got to hear from him. This guy is also an excessive filing. Hold on, let me show you guys. He files excessive lawsuits, okay? These are all the lawsuits he have filed. Let me see. I don't have my glasses, so I can't really see a lot. But he it's a United States of America versus Pittman, Pittman versus Wells Fargo, Pittman versus, let me see, Amber Bailey. I don't know if that's his wife because she got the same, or ex-wife or something like that. Amber Bailey Pittman. He sued IKEA. Like, this man, some I don't know what's up with him, and I'm surprised they haven't blocked him from even being able to file lawsuits, because he is just excessive with it. Pittman versus the Federal Bureau of Prisons. He did federal prison time. They saying for fraud. He said he did 8 years or something like that. I'm not sure what that's about. And it makes you wonder, like, are you up here trying to pull another fraud stunt? However, I'm not going to say what he said is, or his story is not true, But he's not the innocent. He's not an innocent party in this story. You would have been better off shutting up. Because you're trying to now work your way around YouTube, and I feel like that's fraud because you are complicit, you are a conspirator, you participated, and you really are the worst one out of all of them because you broke them and put them in that position and did nothing about it. Without you, it probably wouldn't even been able to take place. So you are wrong, sir. Look, I told y'all a long time ago, I'm zero tolerance for BS, especially over here on the Nellyville show. I'm going to say how I feel, and I could be wrong. But in this situation, I don't care. When it's involving, and it's in the nature of what it is, what we're talking about, because I'm trying not to do too much explaining in detail. There's certain words I can't say on here, and y'all know that. But when it's involving that, oh, baby, there's no sympathy at all, period. I am a mother. I would never see it any other way. A lot of these people are mothers and fathers, and they over in the comments talk about, oh, he was young and impressionable. Oh, that's the words they using. Oh, they persuaded him. Stop with the BS. Y'all the type of people the people that's doing that, y'all the type of people that will turn the other cheek. Y'all the type of people that will know something is going on and won't say anything. And that's why it's so many acts and things like this happening, because people like you that won't say nothing or turn the other cheek or give an excuse. It's never an excuse, ever. I don't care if he was young, impressionable, whatever he had going on. I don't care. He knew better. He knew better. He's just as guilty. And I don't believe he deserved no camera time. Then why don't you have a lawyer? You're trying to file a civil suit and get some money. Another act of fraud. You need handcuffs on you. You need to go back to prison, okay? That's what you need. It's so much that I want to say in this video. Yeah, I'm irritated already. I just don't like when I hear stories like this. When people come forward and try to act like a victim in a situation that they could have done something. It just don't make sense. If it was you alone with them and it happened, that's one thing. But because you brought other people, other parties that was affected, that was not legally able to make that decision, and they would not have been there if it was not because of you, and you did nothing to protect them when you was able to see what was going on. And you probably seen that way sooner than they did because you were an adult and you knew better. So you started to notice when things started not looking right. And what did you do to get yourself and especially those other two parties out of that situation? And now you want to come up here years later because now you out of jail and tell your story and all this and put in a lawsuit. Nope, no sympathy from Nellyville. I have none whatsoever. F you and the boat that you roll into YouTube streets on. And maybe I'm harsh like that, but I am. And I don't see it no other way, y'all. You have to hold people accountable for the things that they do. There is no second chances. Once a minion is exposed, or anyone, not even just a minion, anyone is exposed or something like that happened to them, you can never take it back. It affects their life. And it never happened to me, but because you see what it does to people, you read the stories, you hear doctors talk about the effects that it have on people mentally and their life, and even growing up and having children and their marriage, it'll still affect them for years to come, probably to the day they leave this earth, how it affects them and their relationships and things like that. I just don't feel it's a joke. And when it comes to millions, I just don't play games, period. I don't give no excuses. I don't know why people are doing it. For the ones that are, not everybody, but it was quite a few people I seen saying things like, oh, he was young. Oh, they manipulated him. Y'all love using them words. I don't think them words was created to let people that do monstrous acts get away with the stuff they doing. And if it was, then, honey, look, I just don't like playing games. The man was wrong. Now he's working his way around the YouTube streets trying to do interviews. And, yeah, better be glad I ain't got a bigger channel to do an interview. Because I will let him come right over here and I'll bring him right into a booby trap, baby. Because as soon as he get over here, man, I'll let him have it. Or straight up, live. Don't come over here on the Nellyville show playing games. You need to be back in jail is what you need, sir. You're trying to get sympathy and then you're talking about, oh, it was nobody in the room who didn't want it. What? Who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you're talking about? Is that the way you talk about minions? Are you dumb? Yeah, this case is these cases and these lawsuits are ridiculous. A lot of them, not all, but there are a lot of them. A lot of people that was involved are complicit. They are accomplices. They participated. They were adults. They were able to make decisions and they made the wrong decisions. They do not deserve a pass. I don't care who it is. They don't deserve a pass. Just like all the people that is supposedly that is rumored that there's going to be a lot of people coming out today. And not just today. I'm just saying like during the week and moving forward that are supposed to be co-conspirators in the Diddy trial, but because they got proffer deals with the feds, they now is testifying against Diddy. When I report those testimonies, it will not be in the light of they were a victim or no, you was a co-conspirator. Let me tell you what his accomplice did, y'all. His accomplice testified on the stand. Let me tell you what they said. That's the energy I'm coming with. Because that's exactly what it is. We're talking about adults. And the crazy part is so many other people and other celebs that and people of power that is not named that do stuff like this that we have not even heard about. We don't even know anything about. And it needs to send a clear message that people is not going for the BS. And how does it do that when you consistently giving passes to people that do these type of things? No, absolutely not. And this man, no telling, I feel like this is another form of fraud. It could possibly be. Look how many lawsuits he got up here. Look how many lawsuits he have. Who filed them many lawsuits? So at this point, you could just be making up something and the whole story could be a lie. Then you go to a federal prison for fraud? So how we know you ain't just trying to milk the system and work the system again? He probably trying to work the system on YouTube just to get interviews, getting paid to do interviews and all this. Because if all that was true and he actually had a lawsuit and these things happen, why is you up here telling the story up here on YouTube instead of getting you a lawyer? Yeah. So I don't know, y'all. I could sit here and keep on rambling about this all day long. I can't wait to hear Gene Deal, if he come out and respond to this. I'm sure he's probably going to, because there's a lot of people questioning him right now. They was going crazy over there in the comments. So I'm sure they went over to Gene Deal's page and asked him, what's up? Please answer to these accusations. Because according to him, you knew exactly what was going on in that room. And you did nothing. According to him. But I don't even know if he's trustworthy or whatever. I don't know. You just really can't trust nobody these days. Period. I don't trust nobody. But I would love to hear what Gene have to say. Like I told y'all last week, I'm fond of Gene. I love listening to him. I love listening to his stories. He don't strike me as the type of guy that will allow something like this to go down. He talks about these type of things all the time and the importance of, standing up, being different and saying no, or, doing something about it and don't let people play with you and think it's cool to do crazy stuff in your face to begin with. One of the things that stood out to me that he always said is, and I heard him say this again recently, he said, criminals don't break the law in front of people who don't break the law. Criminals break the law in front of other criminals. It was something to that effect. And I recently heard him say that again. I was watching something of his the other day. So I'm hoping that he could come and shed some light on this situation. But with this guy, he's just as guilty. I do kind of believe his story possibly did go down. It's probably true. That those things happen, but it don't make him innocent. For anything, he needs to be in jail too. If those minions come forward I believe the authorities should step in and lock him up. Because you literally admitted to the public that you're the one who brought them to that event. And they spent the night at that hotel. So, what was the parent? Like, the parents didn't say nothing? Like, look, I don't know, y'all. I'm going to go read the lawsuit even more in detail. But his story, the story he told, the only thing I couldn't get out of my head is none of that would have happened if you did not go get them and bring them there. It's your fault. You belong in jail for what you did. Along with them if they did it, but you are an accomplice. You knew what was going down. What would two grown men be asking you about that? Something that's off limits. And you took it upon yourself to make it happen. And you think you don't belong in jail? You on YouTube literally telling this story? Are you dumb? You didn't learn anything from going to jail? Do you not know that you literally just told on yourself? Stop playing with Nellyville, man. Look, y'all, I'm gone. I didn't even know I was going to do this video today, and I wasn't even planning on getting on camera today right now. But I needed to show my face for this one because he peed me off. Straight up. He peed me off. He peed me off. So, yeah, tell me what y'all think in the comments. I know I probably was a little bit aggressive in this video, but I take these type of subjects very seriously. I don't think that it's a joke. I don't think that it's funny. I don't think that someone deserve a pass that could have done something different. You know, saying that there was no one in the room. I think that did it for me. There was no one in the room who didn't want it. What? Are you stupid? Look, it make me so mad, y'all. I gotta laugh because of the anger. It make me so mad when people say stuff like that because I'm a mother. And I wish somebody would tell me something like that about one of my cubs. Don't play with me. They mad grown now, but I'm just saying. If somebody would have told me something like that, oh, man. Look, tell me what y'all think in the comments. I done talked too much. When I get more details on this situation, in this case, I will go ahead and let you guys know. But I really think it's something fishy going on with this story. Something just ain't adding up. Something ain't right. And if it is exactly what he said it is, then he deserves to be behind bars himself. And yeah, that's it. Till next time. See y'all. Bye, y'all.